Have you ever pondered what the future holds for biometric security? Just as the world has evolved, so too has our need for advanced security measures. In the early days of biometric security, methods like fingerprint recognition and facial recognition were considered groundbreaking. Today, they're as commonplace as using a key to unlock a door. Biometric security, for those who might not be familiar, is the use of unique physical or behavioral characteristics to verify an individual's identity. It's a technology that's been around for a while, but has seen a surge in popularity and usage in recent years. In the beginning, it was used primarily in high-security environments, like government facilities and research labs. But now, it's everywhere. Fingerprint recognition was among the first biometric technologies to go mainstream. It seems like just yesterday when the idea of unlocking a phone with a fingerprint was the stuff of science fiction. Now it's a feature we take for granted on our smartphones, laptops, and even some of our home appliances. Facial recognition followed suit, with the technology now integrated into everything from phone unlock mechanisms to airport security systems. It's not just about convenience. These technologies offer a level of security that's hard to beat. They're based on features that are unique to each individual, making them incredibly difficult to forge or steal. But as with all things, technology continues to evolve. And as it does, so too does the world of biometric security. The initial stages of biometric security were just the beginning. Today, we're seeing a new wave of advanced biometric technologies, such as DNA authentication and retinal scans, starting to take shape. While the technology is still in its early stages, the possibilities are truly mind-boggling. Imagine a world where your DNA or the unique pattern of your retina is the key to everything, from your car to your bank account. From unlocking our phones to accessing our bank accounts, biometric security has greatly revolutionized our world. But what comes next? That's the question we'll be exploring in the next few minutes, so buckle up and get ready for a glimpse into the future of biometric security. The journey of biometric security has been a fascinating one, evolving with each leap in technology. If we rewind to a few decades ago, the concept of biometric security was essentially the stuff of science fiction. In the early days, security was synonymous with keys, locks, and perhaps the more advanced combination safes. As we ventured into the digital age, we witnessed a shift to password-based security systems. Remember the stress of having to remember all those complex combinations of letters, numbers, and characters? Yet as the digital landscape grew, so did the threats. It quickly became apparent that passwords alone were not enough to keep our data safe. Enter biometrics. The idea of using unique physical or behavioral characteristics, such as fingerprints, voice patterns, or facial features to verify identity seemed like a game changer. And indeed, it was. This shift was largely facilitated by advances in technology that made it possible to capture and analyze these biometric identifiers accurately and efficiently. Fingerprint recognition was one of the first widely adopted forms of biometric security, and it continues to be a mainstay today. However, as technology progressed, so did the scope of biometrics. We saw the introduction of more advanced and secure methods, such as iris and retinal scanning. These methods, although more complex, offered an added layer of security. They were harder to forge and provided a level of precision that was difficult to match. The technology used to capture these biometric identifiers also improved, becoming faster, more accurate, and more user-friendly. And then came the era of DNA authentication. This technique, although still in its infancy, has the potential to revolutionize the field of biometric security. By using an individual's unique genetic code to verify identity, DNA authentication offers a level of security that is virtually impossible to breach. As technology continues to advance, so does the sophistication of biometric security. From keys and passwords to iris scans and DNA authentication, we've come a long way in our quest for security. And if history is any indication, the journey is far from over. Imagine a world where your eye is the key to everything. Sound like science fiction? Well, not anymore. In our rapidly evolving digital age, the need for advanced security measures is more pressing than ever. This has led to the rise of biometric security, and one method that is garnering significant attention is retinal scanning. So, how does it work? Well, retinal scanning is a biometric technique that uses the unique patterns on a person's retina to identify them. It's like having a fingerprint, but on the back of your eye. The blood vessels in the retina absorb light differently than the rest of the eye, making each person's retinal pattern unique. The advantages of retinal scanning are numerous. Firstly, it's incredibly accurate. The chance of two individuals having the same retinal pattern is estimated to be 1 in several million. Secondly, it's difficult to forge or steal. Unlike passwords or PIN numbers, you can't forget your retinal pattern, and it's nearly impossible for someone to replicate it. The potential applications for retinal scanning are vast and exciting. It's already being used in high-security facilities, but the technology is gradually becoming more accessible. Think about unlocking your smartphone or your car with just a glance, and the technology could transform personal banking, making transactions more secure than ever. However, like any technology, it's not without its challenges. There are privacy concerns, and the technology needs to be refined to ensure it's user-friendly and accessible to everyone. But the progress being made is promising. The future of biometric security is not a distant reality. It's happening right now. We are witnessing the dawn of an era where our own bodies become the ultimate key, providing us with a level of security that was once the stuff of science fiction. Retinal scans are not just a concept of the future anymore, they are a part of our present. Well, what if your very essence, your DNA, could become your ultimate password? Imagine a world where the key to your personal and professional data is not some complex combination of characters, but something much more intimate, your genetic code. DNA authentication is a cutting-edge concept in the field of biometric security. It presents an unparalleled level of security, given that each individual's DNA is unique. This method of authentication is virtually foolproof, as it's near impossible to replicate one's genetic makeup. But how does DNA, you may ask? Well, it's not as complex as it sounds. DNA authentication involves extracting a small sample of DNA, either from a cheek swab or a saliva sample. This sample is then analyzed and a unique genetic profile is created. This profile, much like a digital fingerprint, is then used to verify the identity of an individual. The benefits of DNA authentication are numerous. First and foremost, it provides an extremely high level of security. Unlike traditional passwords or even some biometric methods, your DNA cannot be lost, forgotten, or stolen. It is a part of you, making it the ultimate form of personal identification. Secondly, DNA authentication has the potential to be incredibly reliable. Errors in identification are nearly non-existent, as your DNA is unique to you. Even identical twins who share the same genetic makeup have slight variations in their DNA that can be used to distinguish between them. But perhaps the most exciting aspect of DNA authentication is its potential for future use. As technology continues to evolve, it's entirely possible that this method could become commonplace for everything from accessing our devices to verifying our identities in secure locations. While there are certainly challenges to overcome, such as privacy concerns and the need for rapid DNA analysis, the potential of DNA authentication is vast. It's a brave new world in the realm of biometric security, and we're only just scratching the surface. With DNA authentication, our biological blueprint could become our most secure passcode. As we stand on the brink of a new era in security, what does the future hold for us? In a world where technology is rapidly evolving, the future of biometric security is poised to redefine the way we protect our identities and personal data. The rise of DNA authentication and retinal scans is just the tip of the iceberg. DNA authentication is a cutting-edge development in biometric security. It's a method that offers unparalleled accuracy, as it relies on the unique genetic code embedded within each one of us. This means no two individuals can have the same authentication code. Imagine a world where your DNA is your password, your key to your digital life. Retinal scans, on the other hand, offer a different type of biometric security. Using infrared light to map the unique pattern of blood vessels at the back of the eye, retinal scans provide an almost foolproof method of identity verification. They are like a fingerprint, but far more complex and almost impossible to replicate. However, as we move towards this future, we must also address the potential ethical and privacy concerns related to biometric data. Who holds this sensitive information? How is it stored and protected? And what happens if this data falls into the wrong hands? These are questions we need to answer as we navigate the brave new world of biometric security. Moreover, we must consider the implications of false positives and negatives. What happens if your DNA or retinal scan is mistakenly matched with someone else's? Or worse, what if it's not recognized at all? The stakes are high and the margin for error is low. As we embrace the future of biometric security, we must be prepared for the challenges and opportunities it presents. It's not just about keeping our data safe, but also about shaping a future where technology serves us, not the other way around. After all, the future is in our hands, and in our eyes, and in our DNA.